When a so-called HOA enforcer rolled up with a bulldozer to clear violations, he didn't realize he was about to destroy the wrong man's car, or that the black sedan in my driveway carried a military service plate. Before we dive in, comment which country you're watching from. Let's see how far this story travels. It started 2 weeks earlier when a new HOA security team began patrolling the neighborhood. Unmarked trucks, fake uniforms, and attitude. They weren't real cops, but they sure liked pretending. The lead guy, a tall man with a buzz cut and a knockoff tactical vest labeled HOA Enforcement Division, had a habit of harassing homeowners, snapping photos, and threatening fines. I'd served 15 years in the Army, seen real law enforcement, real discipline, and real authority. So when this guy, Brad, stopped me one morning and demanded I register my vehicle under HOA jurisdiction, I knew immediately this wasn't legitimate. There's no such requirement under any HOA bylaws or property statute. I told him flat out, touch my car and you'll be answering to state law, not your made up one. Days later, a bright orange notice appeared on my windshield. It read, unauthorized vehicle, subject to immediate removal by HOA order. No signature, no contact, just that bold threat. I pulled out my phone, recorded a quick video for proof, and decided to let him make his next move. That move came fast. Friday afternoon, I heard the low rumble of diesel outside. When I stepped onto my porch, I froze. A bulldozer was rolling down the street, escorted by Brad in his fake tactical gear, barking orders into a radio like he was leading a SWAT raid. He pointed straight at my black Dodge Charger and yelled, "That's the one. It's unapproved and unregistered under HOA code." I started recording again, walking toward them calmly. "You touch that car," I warned, "and you'll be violating multiple state and federal property laws. HOA bylaws don't authorize demolition of personal property. That's criminal mischief." Brad smirked, waving his clipboard. "We've got authority. Step back, sir." The bulldozer's blade was already chewing into my car when I bolted forward. "Hey, shut it down!" I yelled. The fake HOA cop tried to block me, shoving my chest. Bad move. I caught his arm, twisted hard, and swept his legs out in one motion. He hit the gravel flat on his back. I pinned him down with a knee to his shoulder and growled, "Move again, and I'll let the real cops finish this." The bulldozer clanked to a stop. The operator jumped out, face drained of color, staring at the crushed bumper. "That's a military plate." Brad's grin disappeared instantly. He leaned closer, saw the engraved eagle and veteran tag, and froze. I raised my phone, camera steady. "Yeah," I said quietly. "Now you know exactly whose car you just destroyed." Brad froze, eyes darting between the crumpled metal and me. The color drained from his face as the realization sank in. The operator took a slow step back, mumbling something about just following orders. "Whose orders?" I demanded, my voice low and sharp. Brad hesitated, sweat tracing down the side of his temple. You'll have to talk to the president. Brenda approved this, said you were refusing compliance." "Compliance with what?" I shot back. "You don't have a court order. You don't have law enforcement authority, and you sure as hell don't have the right to destroy a private vehicle. That's criminal damage and impersonation. You want to keep talking, or should I let the cops finish this conversation?" He stammered, trying to get up, but I pressed my knee slightly harder on his shoulder, just enough to remind him he wasn't going anywhere. From down the street, a few neighbors had started to gather. Phones were out. I could hear quiet murmurs. "Is that a bulldozer? That's his car? That's a military plate." I stood up, stepped back, and kept the camera rolling. "You'd better hope your little HOA fund can cover this," I said flatly. Moments later, a white Lexus came screeching around the corner, brakes squealing loud enough to echo. Brenda Holloway climbed out, clipboard in hand, heels clicking like she owned the street. "Brad, what's taking so long?" she barked. Then her eyes found the twisted metal. "Oh my, what happened to the car?" Brad pointed at me, voice trembling. He stopped us, said he's military." Brenda's expression flickered. "Military?" I held up the phone, recording every second. "That's right. Military plate, state registered, fully legal. You just authorized the destruction of a veteran's property, Brenda. You have any idea how that's going to look in front of a judge?" She scoffed, trying to recover her tone. "The HOA has authority over all community vehicles. It's in the bylaws." "The bylaws don't trump federal law," I snapped. "You used unlicensed personnel and heavy machinery to damage private property. That's not a violation. That's a felony." The operator raised his hands, backing toward his bulldozer. I didn't know, man. She just said it was junked." Before Brenda could answer, a police cruiser turned the corner, then another right behind it. Blue and red lights flooded the street. The crowd went silent except for the rumble of engines and the crunch of gravel as the cruisers stopped. Two officers stepped out, hands resting on their holsters. One looked at the scene, the crushed car, the bulldozer, the fake HOA vest, and exhaled sharply. "All right," he said. "Somebody better start explaining." Brad pointed at Brenda instantly. She gave the order. Her eyes widened. What? They misunderstood. I didn't mean for. Ma'am, the officer cut in. Did you authorize this demolition? She stuttered, searching for words. I thought. That's enough, he said, pulling out his notepad. Everyone stay right where you are. This just turned into a criminal investigation. Brad was silent now, his fake badge half torn and his knees coated in dust. The operator sat on the bulldozer's tire, hands shaking. Brenda stood frozen, realizing she just destroyed her own authority in front of the whole neighborhood. I crossed my arms and said quietly, "Welcome to reality, Brenda. HOA rules don't outrank the law." The officer turned toward me. "Sir, we'll need your statement." "Oh, you'll have it," I said, holding up my phone, "and so will everyone else. This footage is already backed up." The deputy nodded, impressed. Smart move. And as the officers began gathering evidence, I glanced once more at the wrecked car, at the emblem that had stopped everything. They thought they could intimidate me. They forgot I'd been trained to stand my ground. If you're enjoying this HOA story so far, like and subscribe because the story is only going to get better. When the county investigation wrapped up, it didn't feel like neighborhood gossip anymore. It felt like justice. The prosecutor called it a coordinated act of criminal property destruction, and everyone who touched that bulldozer stunt got dragged into court. Brenda Holloway, the self-styled HOA president, was charged with felony criminal mischief, conspiracy, and impersonation of an official. Her claim that it was just an enforcement order fell apart when the county clerk confirmed no permits or votes existed. She pled guilty to 1 felony and 1 misdemeanor. The judge sentenced her to 18 months in county jail, 3 years probation, 300 hours of community service, and full restitution, over $42,000 to repair the damage she caused. She was also barred from holding any HOA position for 10 years. Brad, her so-called enforcer, faced impersonating an officer, assault, and trespass charges. His lawyer begged for leniency, but the court wasn't impressed by his volunteer security badge. He got 2 years probation, mandatory anger management, and a $6,000 fine, plus a written order banning him from any private security work ever again. The tow and demolition contractor who brought the bulldozer wasn't spared either. The company was hit with unlicensed contracting, property damage, and operating without a demolition permit. Their license was suspended, and the owner took a plea deal with $125,000 in civil penalties and a 5-year suspension from county projects. Then came the civil side. The county dissolved the entire HOA and appointed a court receiver to manage the neighborhood. Every homeowner, including me, got a payout for damages and a share of a legal settlement fund. A new ordinance soon followed. No HOA could authorize towing, demolition, or enforcement without signed county permits and recorded meeting minutes. For weeks afterward, the story ran on local news. Fake HOA cops bulldoze homeowners' property. Residents across the state demanded stricter oversight. I didn't need the fame. I just wanted my peace back. The air felt lighter. Brenda's house went up for sale the month she reported to jail. Brad's security patrol page disappeared overnight. As for me, I kept the bulldozer's dented warning sign as a souvenir. Every time I see it, I remember how close arrogance came to destroying my home and how fast the law can crush it when truth finally wins. The end.